Hello there, this is episode 2 of Better Motion, and today we're going to be talking about our dotLottie file format, which is honestly the most incredible thing that I can think of within LottieFiles. This thing takes something that was already really light, which was our JSON files, and it, kind of moves the comma, right? It reduces an order of magnitude on the size of things. It was, you will take a 200 kilobyte file and it will make it 20K. You take a 2 megabyte file and it will make it 200K. It's incredible. I don't know how they do it. So I'm here joined by Sam Osborne, who is one of our developers. He worked on the dotLottie file format, and boy, I have questions for you. So Sam, I kind of gave the little 101 on dotLottie, but if you were asked, what is dotLottie? What would you say?
So dotLottie is our way of giving an identity to the Lottie format. Originally, it was created to be able to use the dotLottie extension to the file format. JSON animations, or using a JSON file format, it's not specific to Lottie animations. The JSON file format is, a format used by developers for data, and the benefit is that it's human readable. So it's still nice to use the JSON format today in animations because you can go and see the content of the animation and the layers and do all that stuff. But it helps to have dotLottie just to say this is a dotLottie file. And so on top of that,
I have a follow-up there. Sorry to interrupt you, but I have a follow-up there.
Mm-hmm.
So, Lottie started as a JSON, a specification. It's open source, and so what happened that kind of triggered the idea of, hey, we need to do something more about this? Because it was already pretty incredible. It was already, moving animations into vectors, therefore making it, so much lighter. So what triggered, do you know what triggered that? Why do you want to create that? What was wrong with JSON? What was limiting about JSON, or just JSON?
Yeah. So there was a few things. It's first of all, as I said, the identity, give it its own file format extension.
Sure.
Another part of it was that JSON or Lottie animations can use images. You can either encode them into your file, but they can actually be external. So you can use the URL, you can use a file path. And when you're building something like LottieFiles, where you have to manage the files and assets and things like that for these animations, having it in one container is, it's just necessary to manage all these files. Yeah. And so that was another aspect. And the third aspect, is the size, the compression. So making the files a lot smaller, which helps, of course, with storage. It saves a lot on storage and keeps all the assets together. And we get the file format, the file extension. So there's a few nice benefits to it.
Yeah, I can see that. In packaging everything, having everything one source, and also just the benefits from file compression, right? So that's already 2 big wins. So that's some of the reasons why our users should move to dotLottie. But if you were to think of some other things, what other things do the dotLottie format enable that our users could benefit from, right? So why should they switch? I'm thinking of, we have a player that is for JSON, open source. It's been there for a while. We trust it. We know how it works. Why should we move to a dotLottie player so we can play now dotLotties, right? What would you say to any engineer that needs to implement, right, that new dotLottie player and say, hey, this is so much better because?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So one of the major sort of breakthroughs we had, I think last year, was switching over to the ThorVG renderer.
All right.
So in the past, there's been players for all the different platforms. So web, iOS, Android, they're all maintained separately. They supported different features of the Lottie file format spec. So things might render on web and not render on iOS and Android because they're just different players, different code. And so one of the benefits of using dotLottie is that it's guaranteed that the animation will render the same across all our platforms because we use the ThorVG renderer. Shout out to
That's good
dotLottie.
news.
They just passed just released version 1.0.
Version 1, right?
Congrats to them. Yeah.
That's released. So breaking news, everybody.
Yeah. So under the hood, it's all our players for dotLottie, web, iOS, Android, and we added last year Flutter, React Native. They're all running the same code, so the animation is going to look the same across all the platforms.
Exactly the same across any platform. That already is a big, a big point. File size savings, bandwidth savings. Those are some of the things that I can think of. It also supports some particular features, right, about LottieFiles. Things like state machines and theming as well, as far as I know, right? Anything else that we should mention that is important for everybody to know?
Yeah, so theming and state machine, theming and state machines, are pretty amazing features. So state machines is no code interactivity. We handle it for you, setting up the listeners, listening for gestures, clicking on the layers, all that stuff. So that was really great fun implementing that and getting it cross-platform as well. So your one state machine definition works, on web and Android, iOS, clicking on the layers, all that stuff. And then theming is really great because you can theme the colors, but now you can actually theme things like text. So you can do things like translations inside your animations runtime, just switch out the theme. So it's been really great, and we've got some exciting stuff coming up as well.
Nice. Anything that you can give us a little bit of a sneak peek there?
Sneak peek. So currently we are finalizing a new build for the player. So that's going to help reduce the size of the player. And
even more? The player size. Okay, cool.
Yeah. And improve performance a lot. So that's coming out soon. On top of that, we are also going to be enabling different renderers for users to choose. So currently it's a software renderer. It runs on the CPU. We're going to be opening that up to enable a renderer called WebGPU. So that's going to actually allow people to use the power of the GPU.
They're going to use the GPU in their own machines, in kind of like that makes every graphic processing way smoother, way faster, because you're using a processor that is specifically designed for that. Exactly. So that's going to be a game changer.
Yeah. So that's in the works. Early tests last week. I got a pretty simple animation, but I was able to put 500 on a page, and they were running smoothly. So that was pretty incredible.
That's incredible. 500 animations running at the same time, just smoothly on the WebGPU one engine.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
So we got that coming, and then so it's WebGPU. We're also going to enable OpenGL.
Nice.
Yeah.
So now we're going to be able to build games on this. Can we?
Yeah. That with state machines and theming.
That's a lot of state machines if you want to build a game.
Yeah.
Well, that's pretty cool, honestly. Wow, that enables so much. And one thing there, it's open source, right? All of this is open source, and it can be implemented and adapted and modified by anyone, right?
Yeah. I mean, even the Lottie specs is open source. It's I think it's the LAC Lottie animation community. So if you want to deep dive, you could propose changes to the actual spec of Lottie, which is pretty cool. But if you don't want to go that deep, you can. Obviously, our players are all open source. The Rust player and then all the frameworks on top of that we build are all open source. So issues or improvements, we accept improvements from the community.
That's amazing.
Into these players, and even ThorVG, the graphics rendering engine underneath it is open source as well.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, I mean, with that, I have one final question. honestly, to me, this thing is like magic and voodoo when it comes to file size. How do you manage to grab a, pretty decent 200 kilobyte, 1 megabyte animation and make it, just move the comma one side, just reduce it by an order of magnitude, have it 100K, right? 10K, 15K. It's incredible what I've seen. Like, I cannot believe this takes so little space. How do you do it? How does it do?
Yeah.
What is the magic there?
The magic, I mean, I don't want to dispel your excitement and the magic from it, but it's pretty simple. It's we basically built the file structure of the dotLottie. So we can add multiple animations inside it. We add all of that into a folder. We have a manifest, state machines, themes, things like that, and that's all basically into a container, and we zip it. And that compresses file size.
The good old .zip file. That's good. That's it.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. Still pretty magical.
Yeah, it's you can drive down a file. I had a file that was about like 150 KB, and then you can add state machines and themes, and it still came out to like 6 KB as a dotLottie. So
and the player unzips it, I'm guessing, on runtime, right? Yep. As it's running, so you don't have to worry about unzipping or anything like that. It just does it automatically.
Does automatically, yeah.
That's pretty cool. That's very cool. Well, you heard it from Sam first. There's a lot of good things coming up. It's going to be more performant. It's going to be using web GPU. And I would say at this point, Sam, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm selling this to all of our customers as, hey, dotLottie is our default file format. It's not the new thing. It's the thing that you should be using today to make sure that it's consistent across platforms, to make sure that you're, saving the most bandwidth that you can save, and where all the new features, state machines, theming, all the new stuff is coming into dotLottie, right? It's open source. The players are there available for everybody. Everybody can contribute. I mean, it's a great opportunity to be, and it's a bright future for, Lottie animations, but you're running on dotLottie now.
Yeah, we're we're a small team, but just dedicated to working on dotLottie and the players all day, every day. Another sneak peek just to end it off.
Yes, give me all of
it. We're currently in the works. A feature called Smart Animate, which will land in dotLottie. If it all works out well. I think it will work out well, but so Smart Animate will allow you to sort of what's the word?
What Figma does? No,
I'm not sure. I'm not too familiar with Figma, to be honest.
All right, that's okay. That's all.
Maybe you can tell me. So basically, it allows you to set up your animation to be configurable at runtime. And parameterizable. So basically what that means is the example we always give is like a bouncy ball animation, and you'll be able to configure like how high you want it to bounce, like gravity, momentum, things like that. So you can define a bunch of settings, and then at runtime you'll be able to just change these really easily.
So kind of like a programmatically set up for an animation that then, based on certain parameters, it will react to those parameters, and it will. Oh, that's pretty cool. Now that's nothing like Figma, and it's way cooler. So that's pretty cool.
That's good to hear. But yeah, so that's in the early stages of development. But yeah, it's been pretty exciting to work on that.
That's great. That's great, Sam. Well, I got nothing else. I just wanted to, thank you for your time and for, giving us all these quick tips and telling us so much more about dotLottie. You heard it from him. You heard it from me. It's the time to be switching to dotLottie, to switch all your players to dotLottie and take advantage of all the cool stuff that dotLottie has to offer. Thanks, Sam, once again.
Thank you.
And I'll see you all on the next episode. All right.